Hey guys, happy September! So today it is time for my project pan update. I started a new project pan at the beginning of August, and I started it after kind of like a month or two break from panning altogether, and I came back just really ready for like a fresh start, ready to pick out some products that I love using and that I was excited to reach for. So I am happy to say I've been really having a lot of fun with these project pan items. I'm just feeling so much better with this like new mindset with project panning. If you're not familiar with just kind of like the thought process I was going through, I'll link below my video where I talked about changing my approach to project panning. But right now, this new way has really been working for me a lot better. So I had chosen 7 products last month that I wanted to use up or hit pan on at some point, and I haven't yet finished any of these, but one is really close, and I've just made really steady progress on all of these products. So let's go ahead and get into the products. We'll kind of just go in order of a full face of makeup. So first up we have the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, my favorite summer foundation. It's so lightweight, it's dewy, it's breathable, it has SPF, it's just my perfect foundation for the summertime, really all year round, but in the summer I especially love this one because even though it's dewy, it doesn't just melt off my face, like it really does stay looking fresh all day. It's amazing. So I'm holding it upside down because I've been storing it upside down because I was no longer able to pick up anything in the dropper when I had it standing upright, which means there's really not much left. I really, like when I shake it, I don't hear anything, and it's been that way for a while, so it really is on its last leg. What I've been doing is just kind of, see, there is still, keeping it stored upside down, I do still get quite a bit on the dropper, and I kind of just will smear that onto my face, and then I also will kind of hold the bottle upside down and shake some into my hand, but I do have to shake to get it to come out. So I am pretty sure this will be finished. Now I'm having a hard time getting this back in without making a mess. Yeah, that's the only downside to a product with a dropper like this, is that the dropper doesn't reach all the way, so I think I would rather just have like a pump or something. An airless pump is my favorite, but it does get kind of tricky to get everything out of there at the end. But this, unless there's way more in there than I think, which could be the case, I'm pretty sure this will be finished in my next update. That's what I'm hoping for. I would say I've been using this about 75% of the time, and then the other 25% I'll use a different foundation just to switch it up and use some other things, but this is the one I've been reaching for the most consistently, especially just on an everyday basis. So I think that shouldn't take much longer to finish. Another one that I don't think should take much longer to finish is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I just do not think there is much left in here. So this is what it looks like. And I have been keeping it standing upright so that I can see exactly how much settles into the bottom. And it has definitely gone down, but I really think most of it is kind of right down here. But I am still able to get an ample amount out on the doe foot, so I definitely don't need to remove the stopper yet. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get most of it out without removing the stopper. It does kind of seem like it's one of those concealers where the applicator reaches most of it once you get towards the end, but I'm thinking within the next month or two I will take out the stopper and finish it up completely. So with both of these complexion products, the Ilia and the e.l.f. concealer, my goal is to use these up before the end of the year just because they are nearing the end anyway. So I definitely think I'm on track to finish this by the end of this year. And that will be at least my second concealer empty of the year so far, if not my third. I think it'll actually be my third, because I used up the Urban Decay Stay Naked Mini, which was a mini but still, and the Pacifica Liquid Cover, I think. Was that this year? Some of you guys probably remember better than I do, but it'll be at least my third concealer empty of the year. So the next product is another one from e.l.f. This is their Sheer Tint Finishing Powder, and I have definitely expanded the pan on this since my intro. I mean, look at all that pan. And on this side I've actually made my way to, I think, a third ring in the pan, so that's very exciting. I definitely will be repressing this soon because it's almost to the point where it needs to be repressed now. Oh yeah, I just looked at the picture from last month and the pan is definitely a lot bigger. This is the powder I've been using just about every day to set my face. I don't use it on my under eyes because unfortunately this powder is just a teeny bit too deep for my skin tone. It does kind of oxidize the makeup underneath, not terribly, not as badly as the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil loose powder. That one oxidized my makeup like crazy. This It's very subtle, but it is a little bit too much for my under eyes, so I just reserve it for the rest of my face. I do really like the powder otherwise though. It's a great texture, nice and soft and smooth, not too thick or anything, so I am enjoying this. I think they have discontinued it though, unfortunately. Next was a product that I put in my project just because it's my favorite and I wanted to just give myself permission to use it, and I would like to hit pan on it at some point. I think that would be a really great achievement. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Bronzing Powder in the shade Fair, and I have not yet hit pan on it. I'm in really no rush to hit pan on it because, well, it was expensive. I haven't even had this for a full year either, so I wouldn't mind it taking another couple of months to hit pan, but I do definitely have a dip in here, and I feel like the pan is near. But then again, maybe it's deeper than it looks. This is a very big pan, very wide, but I do use, usually the brush I use for it is this pretty big kind of egg-shaped brush from EcoTools. This is their full powder brush. Nice, kind of dense, but still fluffy brush, and I just kind of swirl it all throughout the pan. So because it's such a wide pan and because I'm just kind of swirling all over, it might take longer for me to hit pan on it, but that's okay. But this is just my favorite everyday bronzer that I wear when I don't want to look like I'm wearing bronzer. I guess I never want to look like I'm wearing bronzer, but when I just want a subtle bronzer that I know is foolproof, I can always pull it off because it's just ever so slightly deeper than my skin tone. It just looks so natural. So been loving that, and I'm excited to keep using it. I also pulled in my Makeup Revolution Fix and Glow Setting Spray, another one of my favorite products. This was actually one that I discovered this year, and I've used it so much already that I'm more than halfway done now. I think I was about halfway in my intro, so I haven't used a ton of this month. We started the month like right at the bottom of the G, and now we are at the words dewy finish. But I also went through like a week where I kind of forgot to use this for some reason. I don't know, I just kept forgetting. I think because I had it like all the way on the other side of my vanity and it was like hidden by some other stuff. So pulled it back front and center, and I've been using it a lot the past few days. So I think I just need to make sure I place it in a more prominent spot so that I remember that I have it. But yeah, I would like to finish this up by the end of the year. I'm not sure if I will at this rate, but I'm also not going to be upset if I don't finish it up at the end of the year because I haven't even had it for a full year yet anyway. But this is just my favorite glowy setting spray. It's so good. I know I've already sung its praises way too many times, but it's just, I don't know, it's just one of those products that makes me so happy. Like the packaging, the scent, the experience, the way it performs on my skin, it's just 10 out of 10 in every category. Next, I have my Pan That palette for the year. I am trying to hit pan on as many shades in my ABH Norvina palette this year as I can because this is one of my older palettes. I also just love this palette so much. It never gets old. Every time I use it, I'm just blown away by how much I love the look that I did, and I just think there's just endless different types of looks you can do with this. It's so much fun. Shimmers are really my favorite thing about this palette, but I love the way the mattes complement the shimmers too. So I decided to pick a focus shade that I'm just going to try to hit pan on, and then I'll pick another shade, and I kind of just pick whichever one I feel like maybe I'm close to hitting pan on that I also just want to focus on for that next period of time. So this month my focus shade was Love, this matte pink shade. I love this color just in the crease. I'll just throw that in the crease. Like one look I did this month, I used that in the crease and Summer on the lid, and those two shades together, they almost bring out like a dusty lavender in each other. It's really interesting because neither one of them looks like it has much lavender to it, but I just love the way those two shades work together. I also used this palette, and including the shade Love, in my window shopping the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale and then shopping my stash instead. But I did do a look with this in that video if you want to check it out. It was towards the end of the video that I did the makeup look. So yeah, loving Love. I definitely have a pretty big dip in there, and I think probably still another month or two out from actually hitting pan on it, just knowing how I'm remembering how long it took me to hit pan on Base, another matte in here, and that's currently the only matte in here that I have hit pan on. So the mattes are definitely much harder to hit pan on than the shimmers I've found with this palette. I think another shade that I could potentially hit pan on pretty soon would be Celestial, the purple. And I feel like fall and Halloween is a good time to play with purple. I know we're still like 2 months away from Halloween, but we're entering Halloween season. Let's actually just have 2 focus shades now. Why not, right? So I'm gonna have Love and Celestial. I have done some fun looks with Celestial, so I just want to kind of push myself to play around with a color that's a little out of my comfort zone this time. So that is how that's doing. You'll see in the comparison shots, I definitely made some progress, but I still have not hit any new pans. Even with the focus shades, I am still just actively trying to hit pan on all the shades in here, so I am still going to be celebrating any other pans that I hit even outside of the focus shades if I were to, but I think, yeah, really the next 4 shades I think that I'll hit pan on will be Love, Celestial, Volatile, and Incense. And then Soul, Eccentric, Passion, and Drama are going to be the hardest ones for me to hit pan on. I don't know if I'll hit pan on all of those by the end of the year, but I will certainly try. And a lot of these are great fall appropriate shades, especially like Eccentric and Passion. I'm excited to use those. I did a 1 month, 1 palette video with this about a year ago now, but I'll link it below. I did a ton of looks with this palette. I think there were like 20 plus looks showcased in that video using this palette. So if you want some inspo with this, I will link that for you. And last but not least, we have a lip gloss from Bite Beauty. This is their Yay Sayer gloss in the shade Sugar Drizzle. I definitely could have used this more this month. This is another one kind of like the Revolution setting spray that I kind of forgot to use for like the first half of the month, but then towards the second half I started using it more and just applying it throughout the day when I just wanted something on my lips. It is a clear gloss with like a fine gold shimmer to it. The shimmer is really pretty. It doesn't look too glittery, but it catches the light in a really beautiful way. So I do really like this gloss. It's great on its own. Sometimes I do layer it over other things, but most of the time I do just wear it on its own for like a nice clear gloss. I've been really enjoying it, so I did make some progress. I started out with it about halfway through the T, and now I am well below the T. So hoping to make more progress on this month. I would like to challenge myself to finish this by the end of the year. I think it's doable. We have 4 months left, so I definitely think I can. And usually glosses are pretty easy for me to go through, so I just need to make a point to use it more often. So I think I'll just keep it like out on my desk so that I remember to apply it while I'm sitting here editing or working. So I'm just going to keep this set of 7 products in for the next month. I don't feel the need to switch anything out or add anything new in. I feel like this is the perfect number of products for me right now. So I'm excited about all this progress. Even though I didn't finish anything, I feel like I did still make some good steady progress. And it's totally fine to have a few months here and there where you don't finish anything. Like, I think that's normal in project panning. So don't get discouraged if you aren't using like multiple makeup products up every single month. That's just not realistic for most people. But anyway, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd also love to have you check out the Patreon or the YouTube memberships. I just recently launched a YouTube membership as well, which is the same thing as Patreon. You get all the same perks and everything, but it's just for those of you who don't want to set up an extra account on Patreon. Now you can do it through YouTube as well if that's more convenient for you and you wanted to support me that way. So that option is there now as well, and all of my patrons and members get early access to my Project Pan updates and 1 bonus video per month. I'm thinking about increasing that to 2 a month soon, or maybe 1 video and 1 live stream. We'll see. Would love to have you over there. If not, absolutely no worries. I'm happy to have you on YouTube as well. Any way that you support me is so appreciated. But that is it for today. I will talk to you all very soon in my next video. Bye.